Welcome to a new episode of the Car Dealership Podcast, where this time I'm joined by Derek Verpooten, business developer of Autotelex in Belgium. Autotelex is a company I know a long time from the Dutch market, which is now going international. We have a conversation about the differences between the Belgian and the Dutch markets and about making dealers more efficient through software. Enjoy the episode. Hello, Derek. Welcome to the Car Dealership Podcast.
Hi, Martin. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So can you start by telling us a bit more about yourself and your professional journey so far?
Yes. I started my automotive journey when I was a teenager, and my first job was I was a car seller. So like a lot of people who are still in the automotive business had some selling experience. So later on, I had a car detailing company for over 6 years. But with all the struggles in the automotive business, I had the opportunity to sell it. So in that case, then I went out of the automotive industry. So I went with my parents-in-law in complete other sector. It was a family business, but the moment I separated from the wife, the business separated as well. So at that moment, a friend of me was owning a racing car company, and he was for 3 years on track. So I was with him as a marketing and sales executive for the racing team. So it was a different automotive experience. But
what kind of cars did you race, or what was the racing team about?
I didn't race myself, but the team was servicing Porsche GT3 Cup Benelux and also a Lamborghini Trofeo. So it was quite all over Europe. It was a very hard, tough life. In that way, a lot of time spent on track and not at home. So weekends were just one day, and then we were all the way on the move. So from that moment on, I met someone new, and private work balance was not that good anymore. So at that time, I realized that it was fun for 3 years, but later on, I switched over. And then, as we all know in how it works in automotive, people knows people. So I met someone who was in a company that was doing some digitalization of automotive industry. So digitalization, it was at that time not in the footsteps, but it was already invented some way. But for me, it was a very interesting thing to do because automotive was changing, and me as automotive passionate guy, I thought that would be something for me. So in that time, it was about 10 years ago, I started in a SaaS company that was automotive related. So
What's the name of the company?
it was Cox Automotive Retail.
Yeah, or Modix, the division Modix.
Division Modix. So in that time, it was still Modix, but with a lot of transformations within the companies. Acquisitions were made by Cox became Modix one of the companies owned by Cox Automotive International. Later on, they opened the European part of it, so Cox Automotive in Europe, based in the UK. With all the transitions within the company, and after 8 years, I took the decision to move away from the company because there were some opportunities, but not for me anymore. My vision of my private life and business life was different, so our ways separated. And then I started working for Auto Telex. Few days after I left Cox Automotive Retail, Auto Telex contacted me. For have a coffee chat.
Have a coffee for the plans in Belgium.
For the plans in Belgium.
So we'll talk about that. But what the listeners perhaps don't know is that we are both from the same village originally. And actually, correctly. I'm born in Holland. I'm not born in Belgium, but I moved here when I was young, and we were raised in the same environment, and I know you because I think that many people in the car industry, when I speak to them, they say, I'm not passionate about cars. I hear that a lot. They are in the car industry, but they don't like cars. I'm in the car industry. I do like cars. I think it's great. And actually, you had a car when I was growing up that I really liked, and I have the same car now. So you know the one, the
Even the
Morris
same
Minor
color.
Traveler, the
Yeah.
same color. Yeah. So sometimes when I see my own car, I do think about you. So the Morris Minor is something that you. When did you have it?
Actually, it was my first. It wasn't my first car. My Morris Minor was my first car that I could drive on the road. But like my father was always passionate about cars, so from I cannot remember a day that we are not. We didn't have kind of old timers or young timers, or we changed. I think every year or every 2 years from cars. So for me, it was normal in my life that cars was part of my life. So yeah, when I was like I think 13 years old, I started to do the restoration of my first motorcycle. So it was a Honda Dex, very well known in our neighborhood.
Yes,
By
everybody needed one.
yeah, everybody
Yeah,
wants one, and yeah,
yeah,
it was with mutual friends. We had like a small community, but yeah, from
yeah.
motorcycles you'll quickly go to cars. So my first car I restored was a BMW Isetta 300. So the one from
The Microlino.
Steve. The old new Microlino, the
Yeah,
one
because
from Steve
Paul is now
Urkel
a
with the door
dealer,
in the front.
Microlino
Yeah,
dealer. But indeed,
yeah.
with the door in the front. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was my first car that I couldn't drive on the road. So it was I restored it, and yeah, then when I went 17, I asked my father, "Yeah, can I have a car?" My father said, "No, no, no, you're never gonna have a car of me because yeah, it's too expensive and you have to work for it." So
Yeah,
yeah, we found a way that I could afford my first car, and I restored it by myself, and that was the Morris Minor Traveler. So the day I went 18, my first mile on the public road was with the Morris Minor
yeah.
Traveler in a burgundy red. Yeah,
Burgundy red, yes, beautiful. But
burgundy red with
why a Morris Minor? Did you stumble across it, or did you really search for that
no,
car?
no. Also, that was yeah. When I was younger, my father's two best friends, they had some
Yeah.
Morris Minor Travelers. So
Yes.
I don't going to mention the names because the automotive world doesn't care about those
No,
guys.
no.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in my point of view, I had some historic or some good vibes with that car. And I always said, yeah, I liked a mini, but the mini was very small, so that was a little bit like a pumped up mini. And I really loved the wooden frame on the outside with the two doors in the back that opens. It was a little like a cargo car. For me, it was it had something special with my past. So and actually, I would buy the car. That was my parents owned the restaurant, and we had in the restaurant we also had cars like interior. So there was always a car in the interior. First, it was a Ford T. Then the Morris Minor Traveler came from my father's friend, and it stayed there for years. And I also said to my father, "Yes, the day I become 18, I will drive that car.
I
So
want
can
that
we
car.
buy?
Yeah,
I want that car.
yeah.
Can we buy it from the
Yeah.
guy?" But the guy had also a historic with that car, so he wouldn't sell it. And yeah, so I opened Hemmings Motor News and all the UK magazines to go after for one. And yeah, one day we found
Mm.
one in UK in Sussex,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we went there with the car and the trailer to pick it up. So
Pick it
when I
up.
was
Yeah.
17, yeah, when I
I
was
did.
17, I started restoration.
I did exactly the same thing. Pick it up from the UK and
Yeah.
import it. So
So
yeah,
my
very nice. But
17th
anyhow,
birthday, we
yeah,
bought the car, and later on I had 1 year to make the restoration. So the day I went 18 in Belgium, my driver's license was still
yeah,
wet, and the car
yeah.
was completely done. And then after a
Well,
couple of years,
you're
I sold it.
yeah, yeah. That's a pity. Yeah, but anyhow, you had a unique car when you were 18. So very nice.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And
back to
it
the
was
present day,
affordable.
perhaps. Yeah,
That was
also
the most.
affordable. Yeah.
It was affordable. It was an affordable, nice car because it's
Mm.
easy when you have the money in the pocket. You can buy whatever you want. But when you're 18 years old, it's you want something special. It's hard to find. So that at that time it was affordable for it was cheaper than a Golf or even a Renault Clio or whatever. So it was it was fun and passion.
It is actually the same thing for me. When I was 18, my first car was a Citroën 2CV, so a yellow one, and everybody thought it was a really funny car. It was also, but actually one day I had an accident with my parents' car, and then they got afraid and they swapped the CV for a safer car. So the 2CV, so 2CV out and a safer car in with airbags. So, but it was a good first car. But anyhow, to go back to the present day, you mentioned that Auto Telex reached out. They were planning to start in Belgium, I know, and that was the right timing for you to then step into Auto Telex. But what attracted you to Auto Telex and the role of business developer manager for the Benelux region?
I think two important things within Auto Telex is that they have a big legacy of car data, or as a company. It's not the fastest growing company I know, but for me it was an advantage. They have a legacy of 60 years in the Netherlands, and they never expanded to Europe because they want to do everything right. And that's something for me that's very important. So, and then from the other hand, with all the legacy and the technology they already had in house, and I could compare with my future job or company and other companies that were on the market, I think it was the right moment for them to expand. So, and everybody knows it, with the big car dealer groups that were already a customer on their side in the Netherlands, they went cross border, so they had no choice. In that case, the companies went cross border, and they want to have everything in house with one platform. So they want to streamline within the business. So in that case, I thought, it's the right moment with the right technology. And of course, we had a lot of things. They were struggling with a lot of things within the Belgian market and other European markets, because as we all know, the European market has, we're all talk about Europe, but from at the end, we only have the euro, and for the end, and the rest, the things in common are very poor. Let's say it like that. So to understand the Belgium automotive market better, they need someone who had quite some experience in the market, and within 8 years in automotive in that specific part, they found me the right guy on the right spot at the right moment. So we had a couple talk.
Good timing for both.
I think it was a good timing for both. I was looking for a new challenge, and as business development manager, it's something that's in my path. I mean, it's like the good talk and the people I knew from the past within automotive, OEM, dealer related. I thought I could be something positive for myself and for Auto Telex, and so we had the same thoughts.
Yeah, but for our listeners who do not know Auto Telex very well, how would you describe what the company does and the value that it brings for automotive retailers?
Yeah. First of all, I think then we have to go back to the past. Auto Telex started decades ago with a specialization as RV specialist. So for non-automotive players, it's like a residual value. So with all data connected from all OEMs, they create residual values for every new model that comes on the market. Based on that knowledge, information they have in-house, they started a while ago a platform that calls Trade-in or Autotelex Pro. What is a platform that can be used by dealers and brokers to buy and sell cars. So it's a B2B platform. But the easy part of it is that we had all the information in-house from RV, that we had some RV values, that we had some residual values we had in house. We had all car data, so it was very easy to put in a car, even with or without VIN. And in the Netherlands, we had the registration plates connected, so a customer could very easily put his vehicle into the system. So he was winning a lot of time. To create a vehicle, to demand for new bids, and to had his transaction very fast done. In the past, that kind of things happened by WhatsApp, phone calls, and that kind of stuff. So there was no overview. On top of it, a few years later, they started Autotelex ads. Autotelex ads is like the advertising part of it. So same database, same basic, but the big difference between Pro and Ads is that Pro is a trading platform, and Ads is like a platform that is used to bring all the cars, all your stock to marketplaces like Tweedehands, Autoscout, and that kind of stuff, but also your own websites. So with one single point of input, they could transfer the vehicle all over the place. So that is, I think, for people to understand better what Autotelex is doing. So
car values, the B2B platform for trade-ins, and then the inventory management system called Ads.
Correctly.
Yeah. And because in three main product lines. But I'm actually a long time also busy in the Dutch sector, so I know Autotelex. Actually, in the beginning, it was I think they delivered the books for the car traders. It was the Autotelex book, where you could actually find a residual value of a car, and that of course became digital, and then indeed very famous for the ads and for the pro parts. But if you look at the Belgian and Dutch market, so they've been active for decades in Holland. So how is then the expansion into Belgium been so far?
The expansion went quite fast last year. Like I mentioned before, we have some dealer groups that are located in the Netherlands and Belgium, and now in Germany, even cross-border to France. So the expansion in Belgium went quite fast, but we also tried to slow it down a little bit, because we had a lot of things to tackle with into the system, with the different laws, the different rules that we have. So we went over with the 3 big dealer groups, and from that moment on, the expansion slowed down a little bit because we first want to make it right. And like I mentioned before, what was one of my things, what I believed in Autotelex, what they want to do things right. So fast growing can be good for revenue, but at the end, like we say in Dutch, it comes like a boomerang back in your face. It's a Dutch expression, but it's true. Sometimes it's better to go a little bit slower but better than faster. So quality for us was a very important part of it. So I think now 1 year later, we have very positive feedback. We handle it, all the struggles we had, the growing struggles in a country. We tackled them, and we're right on the spot.
Hey, before we hop back into this conversation with Martin, imagine an AI communication layer seamlessly connected to your dealership systems. One intelligent platform that gives both your customers and your team instant access to the right information at the right time. Well, that's Nova Co., short for the Nova Company. At its heart is Nova, the AI model behind it all, inspired by the Nova Star. Bright when needed, invisible when not, just like a good assistant. On your website, Nova appears as the orb, a glowing, breathing chat bubble that invites customers to ask anything, anytime. But Nova is more than a website assistant. You see, with Nova Companion, she supports your team internally, answering questions using brochures, price lists, stock data, and more. Just instant answers for your team, saving them time and helping them focus on the customer. And with Nova Messaging, She connects with customers on WhatsApp and other channels, managing service updates, follow-ups, and appointment reminders, all in one professional flow. It's pretty cool. And yes, Nova Voice is coming soon, bringing the same intelligence to your phone system and completing the omni-channel experience. You see, customer communication is evolving, but with Nova Co., you're not just adapting, you're setting the pace. Find out more at novaco.ai, that's novaco.ai, and experience what's next. All right, let's get back to Martin.
But if you look at the difference between Holland and Belgium, because of course entering a new market, you could say in Belgium we speak Dutch as well, but also French and also a bit German. So how do you see the difference between the Dutch and Belgian automotive retail markets?
First of all, the all-over value of cars is different. So we see it into the stocks of if I just compare a stock of one dealer group with the same model, same brand, same. If we just compare two cars in two different countries, residual value is different. So that's something already what makes it interesting for some models and some brands to sell it cross border. I think that's one of the most important parts. Also, another part is something that is more government, based on the government rules, is like that in the Netherlands, a license plate is actually the ID of a car. In Belgium and other European countries, the VIN number is something that is the ID of the car. And the license plate in Belgium, by example, is we all can know the license plate and that it's located to a car. But in the Netherlands, the license plates stay forever with a car. In Belgium, a license plate can change every time the owner of the car changes, a license plate change. So to collect data, it's two different ways of working. In the Netherlands, you have all the data, it's connected to the license plate. In Belgium, it's different. For us, a big struggle in that part is that we have to talk with OEMs. The OEMs has to deliver their VIN numbers with the data of the vehicles. So in that case, for us, it's a very hard job to convince OEM to share their inside knowledge or their inside information about cars. In the Netherlands, it's more public. So I think that's a struggle for companies like us to go cross border.
Yeah, it's more difficult to start it up in Belgium because of those things. But if you look at when you speak to dealers in Belgium, so you visit a lot of dealer groups and OEMs, what are the biggest challenges they're facing right now in terms of your solutions?
I think one of the biggest challenges is that I think we have two kind of dealerships. We have the ones that are part of a group, and we have dealerships that are still standalone, OEM branded dealers, but standalone. So first of all, I think volume and the bigger dealer groups are more powerful, but I think, or what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling into the market is that dealer groups are now struggling with streamline their business because the moment acquisitions come, in all different dealerships they work with different type of platforms. So the inventory platforms, the DMS systems, into the all the digital tools they have are all different and are not streamlined by the OEM because they have a free choice. The moment they have an acquisition, they want to streamline it, and then a lot of it's hard for them to choose one platform and all in one platform. I always say it's not possible because in automotive DMS systems, you have inventory systems, you have billing systems, and there is not one player in the market that have it all. It would never be like that. He was in the inventory business as well a long time ago, and it's hard to build all in one system. So they're now, I think one of the the hardest parts for dealer groups is like, okay, how can we streamline our digital technology interface? And then another struggle is once we have it streamlined, to get everything in place, to make sure that every vehicle that is put into a system comes on the right place, in the right moment, within the right time. So, and that's, I think, where sorry, yeah.
No, but it's, I think it's, I understand what you say. So in Belgium, there is a big consolidation. The smaller ones are being taken over by the bigger ones. Van Mossel is a good example. Like 5 or 6 years ago, there was no Van Mossel in Belgium, and now they are the biggest retailer in Belgium. So it's incredible. And I think they're now going to do the same in Germany. So but if you look at, indeed, I've also been in the inventory management business, offering an inventory management tool also in Belgium. What I found as a difficulty to sell it is that it's a saturated market. Everybody already has an inventory management system, or everybody is using that. So it's then quite difficult to let them switch to something else. So that's what I'm wondering. What makes Autotelex different? Why are they switching? What is better about the Autotelex solution than the solutions that they're already using today?
I think there is not a good or a bad system on the market these days. I always try to be neutral. My competitors in the market also have good stuff. But what I think, and that's what I overall, what the feedback is of our actual customers and time by time our new prospects, is that we are flexible. I think flexibility in these days is a very important part. When we enter a market as Belgium, we had to connect with a lot of government tools and sightings with OEMs. So the speed of delivering in Auto Telex is very fast at this moment. Not for every product, but everything what we have in house or what we can build in house, the speed of delivery is very fast, and the quality of delivery as well. So one advantage to other competitors is that we have, with a lot of external companies, we have the APIs ready. So everything what they can imagine, what they need, if we don't have it, we build it. If we have it, they can use it. And that's, I think, one of the biggest things with the competition is that we do not have a better system. We do not have, because it's all technology, but for the other hand, we have the legacy of 60 years with vehicle data. So I think that's a very important part. We also use these days external databases, by example, from JATO. That's a very worldwide big database. We also use it. So we bought the data. So the speed and then the investment we do for a market. So that's also important. Like Auto Telex is always investing, and they're never standing. Yeah. So I think that's one of my. I always listen to the customers what they want. Sometimes we need to say to the customer, okay, it's fine. What you have is fine. If you're happy with that, stay with that. We cannot make it better. But for a lot of customers, we can make their life easier, faster, better.
Yeah. Because that's one of the things that dealers are looking for, is to work more efficient, and because to make things easier, to make things quicker. So what are, in your view, the biggest opportunities for dealers for efficiency gains?
I think is the easy way to create a vehicle in the system. And with all the data we have, can easily create, or by VIN number or by model and by brand and model, we can easily create vehicles with our own database, or with the connections, API connections with OEMs, or our own VIN database. And I think that's a very advantage. And also that everyone that is using our system, it's mobile friendly. It's not something that is built for desktop and also can be used in a mobile version. No, it's complete mobile friendly. So we have both applications specially built. We have the VIN scanner. So based on that one, we scan a VIN number. And based on that one, we go to a couple of stages to create a vehicle. So the time to market, and I think that's an important sense to use. The time to market from when we buy and we want to resell the car, we try to short it.
Yeah, because it's of course when you don't have a number plate lookup like in the Netherlands, you fill in a number plate, poof, everything is filled in, brand, model, engine, equipment, everything is there. And in Belgium, yeah, you need to do it manually. Brand, model, equipment, you need to fill it in manually. So within your system, you scan the VIN, you retrieve the data coming from the OEM that the OEM shared with you, and within a very short time frame, you have the entire description. Is that right?
I think if you start using the application, within 30 seconds you have a complete vehicle created, with data. So on top of it, you need good images, but also in the system, because you can use it by an application. We have the advantage that we can take the images right away with the phone. We have the guidelines for images, so we can put the settings in that way that every different dealership has different settings. So the system is very flexible. I mentioned before, like we have a lot of possibilities. Sky is not the limit, but almost in that way that we can. It's not what you see is what you get, but what you want is what you get at the end of the day. So.
I think that one of the differences I saw between the Netherlands and Belgium is as well that in the Netherlands, when you describe your car in an inventory management system, you can then publish your car to the website and to the classified websites. You have multiple classified websites in the Netherlands. In Belgium, you have one actually main classified, which is Autoscout24. But there, it was sometimes difficult to get the cars on the platform because they want you to do it in Autoscout, and that Autoscout then publishes the car to, for example, an inventory management system. So it's actually the other way around. How does that work nowadays?
It's still the same. Autoscout has his way of working. So if you are an independent car dealer that is not related to a OEM, so to a specific brand, you still need to put in your data into the Autoscout system. Okay, I'm struggling with over 10 years to change that. I think it doesn't happen. It's never going to happen. My point of view. So that's why our focus at this time is specific on dealerships that are related to brands, because dealerships that are related to brands, so to OEMs, they have the right to use a inventory management system like Auto Telex ads, and to publish right away on Autoscout. So that didn't change, and I think also it's about volume. So if you are a brand related, Autoscout open the gates and say, okay, you can you can bring the cars into our system from an external platform. If you're independent and not related to a brand, they're going to look for your volume, because they don't want to lose customers based on if you're a high volume dealer. Sometimes it's more valuable than one little dealership that is even brand related with like, by example, 30 cars sold each month. Then you have volume dealership. So but our focus is basically OEM based dealerships at this moment, because otherwise
they can then they describe the car, publish it on the website, but also on Autoscout.
Also on Autoscout, also on Tweedehands, Mobile. I think we have every portal that is that's somewhere in the Netherlands or in the rest of Europe. We have a connection with them because we are using Hexon as a partner for those connections. That was something new in Belgium as well, because in the Netherlands it was well known that there was only one partner to make all the vehicles connected to the portals. And in Belgium, all our and that's also one advantage. I forgot to mention you before is that in Belgium, all the players have individual connections with the portals and with the websites. So the work volume of development is very high to maintain all those API connections. Within Auto Telex, we have a partner that does all the work. So that means that we can focus internally on what's really necessary, and that's our own software, our own platform to maintain it. And I think that's the way
exactly.
why
That's the
we can
difference,
develop faster and deliver faster.
So are there any particular success stories or examples from Belgium so far that you can share where Autotelex made a clear impact?
Yes, I think we have three big dealer groups now connected. You mentioned one before, it's Van Mossel. We have Morin, and we have Hayden Group. A big impact that we made, I think, within Van Mossel and Hayden at this moment is that the management, the higher level management, now have a good overview over what's going on into the Benelux. Because Van Mossel, we are active in the Netherlands, we're active in Belgium, we're active in Luxembourg. With Hayden, we're active in 3 countries, and now higher management and even salespeople have an overview of every vehicle that is in-house. So that means I think Van Mossel has over 1,000 vehicles in stock at this moment in 3 countries. So if a customer comes into a Van Mossel store or a customer comes into a Hayden store, there is not a vehicle that they do not have in-house, because they're all multi-brand dealers at this moment. So they have a lot of different brands, a lot of different cars, and a wide stock. And I think that's a very, for dealer groups, an advantage they have, that there is overview and they all use one system, and I think it's good.
Yeah, that was also indeed in the past that if you, in each country, you need to search for a supplier, that makes life quite hard. And if you have cross country, you have one supplier, one dashboard. Yeah, that's a big difference for those groups, of course.
Yeah, and also we're now talking all the time about advertising, about distribution of vehicles to portals, but we have not to forget that our trade-in application is also a very good one, and that make also a big impact difference within the business for those dealer groups. By example, multi-brand dealer groups like Morin, Hayden, and Van Mossel. Sometimes a customer comes into a showroom and want to sell his 3, 4, 5-year-old, by example, Opel. Yeah. When he comes into a Mercedes-Benz dealership, in the past, they just put it on a trade platform, and some external brokers made some bids. But now they also can do it internally. By example, that's specific, I say, Opel Corsa, whatever it is, can be a very interesting car for the used car label of Van Mossel himself or for Morin, because they have that specific brand in-house. And they say, hey, why would we sell it externally? We also can use it for internal use. So a lot of vehicles that are bringing into the B2B are traded internally. So colleague dealerships within the same group can now put a price on the car, and they can, So for their own used car labels, it's a big advantage that they have, that they can work like that. And in the past, it was a lucky shot to buy a car like that, and everyone could bid on a car. So it was, I think that's in our at this moment, one of the advantages or the changes we made within the dealer groups.
Yeah, that's indeed a big difference with a few years ago, how it went with Belgian dealers. So, but if you look at AI and automation, they are hot topics across the industry. How do you see these trends impacting Belgian dealers in the coming years?
We know that Belgian dealers are always a little bit behind the scene. In that case of, if you see in the Netherlands, digitalization was like, 10 years before Belgium. They started with doing websites and digital car auctions and whatever. COVID changed a lot. So in COVID time, they all had to need a website. They all had to publish. And I think at that moment, we first started with some online car inventory. The easy way of searching for vehicles became more important in these days than it was in the past. In the past, someone picked up a phone and or called someone and said, "Okay, I need that car," or "Do you have that car in stock?" They even didn't look to the website. So for me, if we go to AI, I think AI can also have an impact on search masks. A search mask is something that is built by someone, and if you forget to put a filter on there, you get stuck. It's not only in automotive. I also had the experience in other things like, by example, IMO, and this is like the in the house
real estate.
sectors, real estate sector. It's the same. Yeah, you cannot filter on. You can only filter on price and number of rooms. Yeah, that's to getting crazy, you know. So in car inventory is the same. It's very hard for us, to define what an end customer is looking for. At the end, if you need a page with plenty of filters on top of it, your look and feel of your website is ugly. So that's why they always. So these days, I think your system is one of the systems that can help through that search. Is that AI is behind it. So if the system can read the whole inventory out of it, and if a customer is asking a question, whatever it is, its color, age, mileage, price, interior options, whatever it is, they come up with a car or a number of cars where the customer can look for. So I think AI and automotive is related. I don't think we also see it that AI is building cars. It's not only people like us that are suppliers of automotive, but also the OEMs themselves.
A lot is happening, and I think that you're right that in terms of car searching with filters, the websites are very often filters and forms. You use a filter to search for cars, and it doesn't really work in the right way. And then when you're interested, poof, you get a form. And now, if you go to many websites, it's still the same. And I believe that the future will be conversational, that you will indeed use AI to search for the right car, and that you can say, this is my family situation, this is what kind of equipment I'm looking for, the size that I'm looking for. And based on that, it will actually just add the right filters. It would just show you the right cars. And then when you're interested, you have a conversation to ask questions, but you also have a conversation to book appointments. So that's indeed going to change. And I think that I'm curious to see how also even a classified website would look like in a few years from now. And will it be as today? I'm sure it will not be. And that a lot will be done by AI. And it all comes down to getting proper data from systems like Autotelex. If you look at option filtering for dealers, sometimes in websites you get cars published from different inventory management tools, and then each inventory management tool has got their own option list, or even dealers can write their own options, and they are sent to the classifieds as well. So you get a list full of options that you can select, and it's not standardized. So that makes it also very difficult. But I think even there, an AI model could scroll through it, standardize it, and show the right cars. So a lot will change.
I think not only on data, but also on visuals. Like in Autotelex now, we have a drop-in background functionality. That means that every image look the same in the background. In the past, that was manual work. I can remember in the past, in the days, that we had to upload an image, that we had to wait 48 hours because the image was sent to somewhere, to India or to a software company that was doing nothing else than dropping backgrounds. So that was the first frustration of a user of that platform, because they say, hey, our OEM says we need to use the same background. So we put in the car and we have to wait 48 hours before we can publish the car. So AI took over a little bit, and then of that, and we implemented AI based. It's not full AI, but it's AI based. Our drop background, so that we can manage different backgrounds, and it's real time, like we say. If it takes 5 seconds, for me, it's real time. So I think that's an advantage as well. So you wanna your time to market the day and the moment you buy a car as a dealership and you want to resell it, that time frame should be as short as possible. Because every day, we all know in automotive, every day a car is standing on the parking lot. The valuation of price is there. So we don't want to lose money on our stock. So the faster it's online, the faster your return on investment is there. So AI, is it the future? Yes and no. AI will never take over humanity because AI is built by us. But with the good data, I think it can be an advantage for every car dealership to use a system or to use tools that are using AI. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, but to summarize the conversation, I think one of the efficiency gains that people are reaching with Autotelex is that also like this image background replacement feature, that you do everything to make it very easy for a car to arrive and to have it published and to have it sold as quickly as possible. So and that's important because the longer it takes, the more expensive. Yeah. So
the more expensive it gets.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very nice insights. And so thank you very much for that. And finally, if people want to connect with you or learn more about Autotelex, what is the best way for them to reach out?
I think by email. I emailed as something that stays. They also can call me. They can find me on LinkedIn. But I think the easiest way to do it is by email or by phone. So in that way,
and the email is derek@autotelex.be. So Derek, D-E-R-E-K.
.nl, it's BA, BA for Belgium.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and my phone number is +32 for Belgium, 470-030317. So that's my business number. I will put it in the chat, Martin. So if you want to share it, then you can share it.
Yeah, well, perfect. Thank you very much for being a guest in the podcast. Good luck in Belgium. And I'm sure we'll see each other very quickly again.
I think it will be happening. So thank you for the invite. And I hope the audience have a better insight of my thoughts in automotive. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Bye, Derek.
Thank you very much. Bye.